Hello, welcome to Comic Talk. I'm Brad, and I'll be your host. Today I'll be reviewing a copy of Action Comics 977, Superman Reborn Aftermath. And I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a good one. Now let's take a quick look at the cover to see Andy Kubert's awesome artwork. As a Superman fan, I gotta tell you, I'm really happy with the artwork that Andy Kubert has done with this comic book cover to make it just look as iconic as it possibly can. And you can really tell with this cover that they're trying to say, hey, this is where Superman starts all over again. Now, for those of you who don't know what happened before this comic, I would highly recommend you go back and buy the back issues and read it. There's a lot of explaining to do, and I don't really have the time to get into it here. Just know that the New 52 Superman and the pre-New 52 Superman have now merged together in a very Superman blue, Superman red kind of fashion, which brings us to our current comic book in hand. So after reading Action Comics 977, I gotta say I was incredibly impressed, because what the storyline does is they actually try to tie up the loose ends that a lot of people who, like me, are longtime Superman fans, felt like they were getting kind of gypped, kind of ripped off after the New 52 and during the New 52. You know, the idea that Superman's secret identity had now been compromised and the world kind of knew, and that he was kind of a stranger in a world that he probably shouldn't be in. It always left me kind of feeling a little bit unsettled. And what this issue does is it actually brings him back into and resettles him quite nicely back into the fact that he has always been a part of current continuity. The previous issues in the storyline of Superman Rebirth actually have Superman Blue and Superman Red coming back together and the timeline re-knitting itself to one coherent history. Wazza! This comic book establishes that quite nicely. And I like to see Superman, he's at the Daily Planet, he's back working, they're going to sell the farm, they're going to move back to Metropolis, and everything is going smooth. But Superman still feels just a little bit uneasy with something. He's like, everything kind of lines up, I can remember stuff properly, but I really just, something doesn't feel quite right. Superman flies off to the Fortress of Solitude and mucks about with the crystals and actually has a bit of a history lesson from the computer and Kellex where he learns about his own history in this world. And he's like, yeah, I can remember that. All the while, the memories of what happened beforehand are getting foggier and foggier. Now, this is a really clever way that the writers have decided to teach us about this current continuity Superman's history. As Superman is learning and reaffirming his own history at the Fortress of Solitude, we're learning this current continuity Superman's history for the first time. And I think it's genius the way that they did this. He's back on Krypton, he sees Laura and Jor-El goes to the Science Council and tries to warn them that the planet is kind of doomed, we need to get people off the planet on space arcs, and Laura contemplates what to do with the baby, the planet starts to erupt and everything goes to hell, and they stick baby Kal-El on the rocket where they rocket him off into space, and he lands on Earth, and he's discovered by a middle-aged Martha and John Kent, where they take him in, refuse to give him over to the authorities because they figure there'll be all kinds of bureaucratic red tape there, and they just secretly pretend like he is literally one of their own. Not adopted, but literally one of their own children. As a longtime Superman fan, I gotta tell you, it's been really nice to see them bring what I consider my Superman back into current continuity and then nestle him in there nicely like he's always supposed to have been there. And it was just a big timeline cosmic mess up that he wasn't in the first place. Like, oops, Superman got split in two, darn it! Let's put him back together. I think it's clever because it appeased the fans. We still don't have the red trunks. We still have an updated costume. However, it's on a Superman that we all know and we all love. And really, by merging the New 52 Superman and having the classic Superman merged together, you've honored both characters rather than just tossing one aside, as they've been known to do in the past with previous carnations of Superman that have lived with the current continuity versions of Superman. I would give this comic book, right off the bat, a 9.5 out of 10, and that's only because it seems kind of pretentious to give it a 10 out of 10, and I'm obviously kind of biased. Red hoodie, Superman hat, Superman shirt. I mean, I'm a giant Superman fan, so I'll seem kind of biased, but honestly, I can't think of anything I didn't like about this comic book. The artwork was on point on the inside, the cover art is amazing on the outside, the story does a really good job of establishing the Man of Steel in the universe that he now currently exhibits, while also giving you hints and building upon a really big future storyline. Whether you're a longtime Superman fan or you're just looking for a place to jump in, I would say right now is a great time to jump into a Superman comic because everything is fresh and new. But you gotta go fast because this issue is going to sell out pretty quickly. Unless you get a digital download and then you can take it anywhere. But I'm old school and I need to have a paper copy. Anyhow, that's been my review of Action Comics 977. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That way I know you liked it. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time with the next episode of Comic Talk. Goodbye.